Okay, so now let us look at how to solve problems when friction is involved. Okay, now you will get friction in three types of questions. Sometimes you may be given the value of friction itself. Maybe it was on an inclined plane, maybe it was flat like this, but you are given the friction value. In other cases, obviously you are not given the friction value, you are given the friction coefficient. So that means you need to calculate the friction and then do the problem. And of course, the last case is when you have an inclined plane and you have the friction coefficient given, in which case it's similar to this, except that your normal force calculation becomes a little bit more involved. Okay, let us start from the first one. Okay, here what does it say? The friction value for this problem is 4 newtons, that is given. So how do I solve this problem? First of all, I look at this. There is a force of 40 newtons downwards. So whenever the mass is given, it's a good idea to just multiply by g as 10. Okay, so this is not 40 mg, this is just 40. So this is 40 newtons, right? But if the mass is not given, let's say it's m, then don't write it as 10 times, just write it as mg. You can come back to what g is later. Okay, this is just for convenience. Now, should I count this 40? Yes, because you can see that this is how it's going to move, right? So this is my bendy axis. This is the positive direction of the bendy axis. That will be the negative direction of the bendy axis. So now here I have a force of 20 newtons. You know I don't have to worry about this tension, that tension, this tension and this tension, because this and this will cancel out and this will cancel out. Okay. And do I have to worry about the 60 newtons of the 6 kg block? It is downwards. Do I have to worry about that? No, because that is going to be perpendicular to the bendy axis, right? So anything that is in the perpendicular direction, no need to worry. Okay, so if I now look at this, which direction do you think it will move if there was no friction? Clearly it is going to move like this. Okay, so that means the 6 kg block will slide like this. So that means there is going to be a friction force in this direction, which is 4 newtons. And that is an external force. That is the force exerted by the table on this block. This tension, on the other hand, is exerted by the rope, but then there is a corresponding tension on this side, and that will cancel. But there is corresponding to this 4, the equal and opposite force will be on the table, but the table is not part of your system at all. Right? You are going to take these 3 blocks as part of your system. So therefore, should I count the 4 newtons friction force? Yes. Should I count the tension force here? No. Okay, tension is an internal force. So if I now take this, what is the net force in this direction? So if I just directly want to find the acceleration of the 4 kg block, let's say I want this fellow's acceleration is A. Remember, this only works, the bendy axis only works if all of them have the same magnitude acceleration. Obviously they have different directions in the normal XY axis system, but in the bendy axis not only do they have the same magnitude, they also have the same direction, because in the bendy axis direction this and this are the same, this here and this there. Here of course this is perpendicular, there that is perpendicular. So along the bendy axis the direction must be the same. So for example, if this block was moving like this and this block was moving like this, then it won't work. Okay. So now of course you know that this works in this case. So therefore, what is the net force? 40 minus, so let me write all of it. 40 is in this direction, 4 is in that direction, minus 4, 20 is in that direction, so minus 20. Can you see that 4 is in the negative direction? Okay. So, and that has to grab and pull what? 4 plus 6 plus 2, 4 plus 6, 10 plus 2, 12 kg. So this is going to be our acceleration. How much is this? 20 minus 4, 16. So this is 16 by 12. Right? So if I cancel this out, I can cancel out the 4. So this is 4 by 3 or 1.33 meters per second square. So that is going to be the acceleration of the 4 kg block. Here friction value was already given. Of course, most questions won't look like this. Basic questions will look like that. But in reality, when you actually look at an exam question, what is going to happen is they'll tell you mu is 0.2. What will I do with mu 0.2? I need to find the friction force. Okay, but that you have done enough times, I'm assuming. So let us do the same thing here. This is mg. Okay, this direction you don't have to worry. Usually I wouldn't worry about the 2 mg, because 2 mg would be in perpendicular direction, so it won't matter. But now I do need to worry about it, because you see this fellow is 2 mg and the normal force N will be equal to 2 mg. Why is N equal to 2 mg? Because this block is not going up or down. So net force on the vertical direction, net force on the 2 mg block, 2m block in the vertical direction must be 0. So N minus 2 mg must be 2m into acceleration vertical is 0. So N minus 2 mg must be 0. If this whole system was in a lift going up, then N won't be equal to 2 mg, because this guy will have an acceleration upwards. So you'll have to do that calculation. Okay, I'm hoping you know this, otherwise we'll learn it another time. But basically now if I know that N is 2 mg, then what is the friction force? Well, it is sliding. Yes, it is sliding. Assuming it is sliding, so this makes an assumption. So assuming it slides. Okay, if it doesn't slide, you can't conclude that F must be equal to mu n. F will be less than or equal to mu n. Okay, right now let us say F is equal to mu n, mu times n, mu is 0.2. Many places people, instead of using the small symbol n, they use the symbol R, calling it normal reaction. Very dangerous word. It is not reaction, because when it's a reaction, obviously every force is a reaction to another force. It is not a reaction to the weight. If it was a reaction to the weight, in every problem it will be equal. It is not a reaction to the weight. Okay, it's a reaction to another normal force with which this fellow is pressing the ground. So instead of using capital N and instead of using R, I am going to use small n. Okay, so 0.2 is mu times the normal force, which is 2 mg, and so this is 0.4 mg. So that means there is a friction force of 0.4 mg. Which direction is it going to act in? Well, look, just imagine if this was something that started from rest. I'm assuming that these are all starting from rest. It is going to move like this, right? So that means it's going to slide like that. And so the friction force on this fellow is going to be like this, 0.4 mg. Now you have to be very careful about these things. If this already has a velocity, friction force will be that way. Okay, but this starts from rest, so it's going to slide like that, so friction force is this way. For all the questions that we are going to do, we'll assume that it starts from rest, just because we are learning it right now. But you have to look at the actual situation. Okay, so now you have mg and you have 0.4 mg. Does this matter? Yes, because my bendy axis is like this. So it does matter. Okay, so what is the net force in this direction? Mg, so acceleration, I can say is mg minus 0.4 mg, because it's mg, 0.4 mg. Notice these two fellows don't matter. N and 2 mg don't matter, because they are perpendicular. The only reason I drew this was to find N, so that I can then use that to find the friction force. So the friction force here is 0.4 mg. Okay, just for that we needed the N. Okay, so now I've got N mg minus 0.4 mg divided by the total mass, which is 3m. It looks complicated, but actually the only complication is finding this friction force. There the force was given, now you need to calculate the friction force. Okay, and keeping in mind that it is sliding, so the friction force is equal to mu n. So assuming it slides, is this acceleration a positive number? Is it sliding that way? Is it 0? No, right? It is positive number. How much do you get? You get 0.6 mg by 3m. So the mm cancels out. So this is going to give me how much? 0.6 by 3 is 0.2. So this is 0.2 g, and so that is 2 meters per second square. So we've got the answer to this question. This is accelerating at 2 meters per second square. Now if you see, let us check our assumptions. Our assumption was it is sliding, is it? Yes. So friction must be equal to mu n. Always come back with friction questions. After you solve, come back and check. We also assume that friction force will be this way, because it's sliding that way. Does it slide that way? Yes. So this assumption and the direction assumption was correct. Is that hopefully clear? Now a lot of people have a doubt, saying this is m, that is 2m. How can m pull 2m? Okay, but actually if this was absolutely frictionless, m will definitely pull 2m. Why do you think you can't have a bigger block being moved by a smaller block? Because usually when we have a big block, there's a lot of friction force. But you see with 2m, the friction force happens to be only 0.4 mg, whereas the gravitational force on this is mg. This force is a lot more than that force. So it will definitely pull it in this case. Suppose mu here turned out to be 1. Then what will happen? This is 2 mg, n is 2 mg, so therefore this force will be 2 mg. Now this is going to go that way. Well, that's not going to happen because friction is trying to stop it from slipping. So this mg, the friction force will be equal to mg. So this friction force will basically stop it. So that means this will get pulled here mg, it will get pulled there by friction force mg, and so this won't move. Is that clear? But because my mu here was 0.2, the friction force is only 0.4 mg. So can 0.4 mg stop this mg? No, right? Now you can say, well, this has 2 mg, but the 2 mg is vertical. It is not going to stop this sliding on this plane. If I had a huge block on a frictionless surface, imagine that I had some massive elephant, okay, 1000 kgs, and I am pushing this 1000 kg. Our brain says you can't. Okay, that's because you don't know how it feels when you are on a frictionless surface. The problem is on a frictionless surface, how do I pull or push itself is hard. Okay, let's assume that I have friction, but the elephant does not. But if I exert a force on the elephant, even if I exert a 10 Newton force on the elephant, 10 Newton force is very trivial. Right now I am exerting more than probably 10 Newtons. Okay, so if I exert a 10 Newton force on an elephant, the elephant will move on a frictionless surface. Okay, so our experience is only for normal surfaces which have a lot of friction. So in a frictionless surface, clearly this 2m will be pulled by m. But this is not just a frictionless surface, it has friction, but it has a reasonably small friction, 0.2. And this is not too small, it's only half the mass. So with friction 0.2, you can see that this is 0.4 mg, you can definitely move it. Let us come to the question where we have an inclined plane. Little bit more messy. Here I am telling you that this block, both of them were initially at rest, m, 4m, this inclined angle makes 37 degrees and mu is 0.25. Mu between these two, obviously this is not touching a surface, so there is no mu here. This pulley is smooth, massless, ropes are massless, so this thing is fixed, this wedge is fixed. Okay, now with all those conditions, can I figure out what this force is? You already know this, 4 mg sine 37. Now what is sine 37? Let us write down sine 37 is 3 by 5. 3 by 5 is 0.6. Cos 37 is 4 by 5, 0.8. So let us use that. So this is 0.6 times 4 mg. 4 mg into 0.6. How much does that give you? 6 into 4, 24. So 2.4. So this is 2.4 mg. Right? And what about this force? Mg. But there is a friction force. Right? I need to therefore calculate what is the friction force. But if there was a friction force, which direction do you think it will be in? Assuming it starts from rest, which direction will it move? Well, if there was no friction, it's going to move like that. Why? 2.4 mg, mg. So it's going to move like that. Now, because it's going to move like that, friction force will be this way. What will be its value? If it is sliding, its value will be mu n. But what is n? Well, first let's calculate what is mg cos theta. Cos 37.8, 4 mg into 0.8. 4 mg into 0.8. How much is this? 4 times 8? 32. 3.2. This is 3.2 mg. Now you should be quite happy that this is not acting this way or that way. Okay, it is a much larger force than that. But clearly this plays no role in this motion. It doesn't play a role directly, but it is pressing this block in, which means the normal force will increase. So let me calculate what the normal force is. So if I look at the normal force here, normal force is no longer 4 mg. It's not going to move in this direction. So normal force is 3.2 mg. Because normal force n minus 3.2 mg is mass into acceleration. There is no acceleration in this direction. Therefore, n must be equal to 3.2 mg. So I know what is n. So what is friction force? Must be mu n. assuming, so there is an assumption, assuming, otherwise what should I write? I should write friction is less than equal to mu n. So here I am going to assume that it slips. Assuming the block slips, we are making this assumption. So when you solve the problem, you come back and check whether your assumption was correct. Okay, so what is mu? Mu is 0.25, so which is 1 by 4 into 3.2 mg. Okay, so this is 32 by 4 is 8, so this is 0.8 mg. Okay, so that means in this direction there is a friction force which is 0.8 mg. So let me draw that. So this is 0.8 mg. That is the friction force. Okay, so if you look at this force matters. Yes. Why? Because my bendy axis is in this direction. And I'm assuming that it's accelerating like that. So this is A and this is going up A. This direction is positive, so this is negative. 2.4 positive, this is 0.8. What should I do with it? Negative. So if I want to calculate A, what will acceleration A be? 2.4 mg, okay, minus 0.8 mg, minus 0.8 mg, and minus mg, because this is negative, that is also negative. Can you see that in this bendy axis system, this direction and this direction are the same? So it's actually 1.8 mg. Okay, if you think of this as 1 mg and 0.8 mg, 1.8 is in this direction, 2.4 in that direction, divided by the total mass, because it has to drag it along. So 4m, m, so 5m. If you notice, for this calculation, I don't have to use this and then 3.2m, 3.2 mg, because they are all perpendicular to the block's motion. Okay, so now if I calculate this, how much do I get? Well, this is 2.4 minus 1, which is 1.4. 1.4 minus 0.8 is going to be 0.6. So this is going to be 0.6 mg. A lot of questions seem to have 0.6 there, okay? But don't assume therefore that every question is going to end up with 0.6. Divided by 5m, this will cancel out. Now if I take g as 10, g is 10, this is going to basically be 6 by 5. 6 by 5 is 1.2 meters per second square. So that means we found out that this fellow's acceleration upwards is 1.2 meters per second square, and this fellow's acceleration like this is 1.2 meters per second square. Don't stop, check. We assume that it is sliding. Is it sliding? Yes. So this assumption was correct. We assumed it is sliding like this. Is the answer matching, or did you get a negative number? You got a positive number. So that means it's sliding like this. So that means friction direction assumed that way is correct. Yes, so this is also correct. Okay, so now our solution is correct. With friction questions, always first solve, then check whether what you assumed was correct. But I hope you can see how bendy axis allows us to calculate. The main problem is, of course, you have this and this. That is easy. The friction part, you still have to calculate that. Now, not in all questions will n be equal to mg cos theta. Sometimes you may have a force like this. Sometimes you may have a force like that. You will have to find out what is n and then use mu n to figure out whether it is mg cos theta. You'll have to find n and then use mu n to find out what the friction force is. Don't blindly assume this is mg cos theta and that is mg. Don't assume that, you'll make mistakes. Figure that out. Secondly, in certain cases, it may turn out that the n was negative or was 0. If n is negative, it means something you have assumed is wrong, because n has to be a pushing force. It probably means the block is moving away. Then you can't use bendy axis, because then you don't have a simple axis. Okay, so check whether n was a positive number. Is that all clear? So you will have to look for whether there is friction or not, and which direction it acts in, and also if it sometimes doesn't slide, then it will turn out that when you did the calculation, you may end up that the acceleration is that way. Okay, if it, for example, in this case, suppose I said instead of 0.25 mu was, let us say 1. It's a lot of mu. Okay, then this force will be 3.2 times 1. So that means you assumed it is sliding down, but it's turning out that it's sliding up. Assumption was wrong. So then, what then happens will be that this friction force won't be equal to mu n, it will be less than or equal to mu n. it will be less. Then you can't calculate, you can only figure out that it is F. Knowing that the body doesn't move, you'll have to calculate what that F is. Those are more complicated questions. We'll worry about them at a later point. But the main point you have to keep in mind is, if you know for sure that it is sliding, make the assumption, do the calculation, check that your assumption is correct.